Today, I am going to show you how to make perfect rice in your Instant Pot every single time. Let's get to it.
No, 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 let's go. No hesitating.
All right, so you've got this Instant Pot, and rice is a mystery. It comes out clumpy, it comes out too watery, it comes out undercooked and crunchy. Never again, my friends, because I'm going to teach you how to make the perfect rice in your Instant Pot every single time. So first, let's talk about the types of rice to use. Now, the rice I always use is a long grain white rice. I also use a long grain brown rice on occasion, but I mostly eat white rice. The nutritional value is pretty much the same and it's quicker to cook. So long grain rice tends to be fluffier. It doesn't stick together as much. So you want to use a long grain rice. So you can use like a jasmine, a basmati, or just like a generic long grain rice from Kroger or whatever your grocery store brand is. It doesn't really matter, just as long as it says long grain. So you're going to start there. Now, in the Instant Pot for white rice, the cooking time is 3 minutes. And the amount of water that you want to use is for every 1 cup of rice, you're going to use 1¼ cups of water, and it's going to be cold water. And you can salt your rice or leave it plain if you want. It doesn't really matter. Now, there's also another little trick I want to teach you. If you're cooking something else in your Instant Pot that you want rice with, you can also cook rice in your Instant Pot with whatever dish it is that you're cooking, as long as the dish isn't like a super big, if you're cooking a soup and it comes up here to the top of your Instant Pot, you can't cook rice in here also. But if you're cooking a dish that's, kind of down in the bottom, it's a shallow, dish, you can buy these risers. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like that tall. And you can put that down in your Instant Pot like that. And then this is a tiffin tin. I will put links to all of this down in the bottom, down in the description. And you can put your rice in here to cook. And then with the water, so rice and water in here, and then put it on top of that riser. Put everything into your Instant Pot and cook everything all at once, your meal and your rice all at once. Now, this only works if your meal and your rice have about the same cooking time. Now, when rice is cooked elevated like this, it actually takes 5 minutes, not 3. So you have to keep that in mind. So whatever you're cooking down here needs to take about 5 minutes at high pressure. That's another thing. It's 3 minutes at high pressure, or if it's elevated, 5 minutes at high pressure, and then a natural pressure release for a few minutes, like 5-10 minutes. So you have to make sure that whatever you're cooking at the bottom takes about 5 minutes at high pressure with a little bit of natural pressure release. If you're cooking something that takes a little bit longer, you can use brown rice. Brown rice, when you're cooking it in the Instant Pot on the bottom layer, at the very bottom of the pot, you're going to cook it for 22 minutes, and the ratio of water is 1 cup of rice and then 1½ cups of water. So you can do 2 cups of brown rice, and then you would do 3 cups of water, etc. So you just, for every 1 cup of brown rice, you do 1½ cups of water, and then it's 22 minutes down on the bottom. If it's elevated, you're going to do about 30 minutes. So anything that's elevated in the top tin here is just going to take a little bit longer to cook. That's the only thing you need to remember. So yeah, so you can cook a meal and rice, or your main dish and your rice all at once in your Instant Pot. So it's amazing. And the rice, when you're cooking it in the Instant Pot, it doesn't stick to the bottom, even in the tiffin tin, because it's stainless steel. I don't know what it is. Like, even my rice cooker is stainless steel and the rice sticks on the bottom like crazy. But if I cook it in my Instant Pot, it doesn't stick. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't stick in my Instant Pot. So I stopped cooking in my rice cooker. Even though I love my rice cooker, I love my Instant Pot more. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you a batch of rice. I'm just going to show you some white rice for expediency purposes. Let me go grab a little bit of water. Okay, so I've got my pot here. I have my rice. Do just 1 cup, and I always pour over my inner pot because rice is always going to spill over like that. So you don't have to be too exact. 1 cup. And then one cup of water, and then 1/4 cup of water. And then I just kind of sloshed around a little bit, make sure all the rice is mixed in. I don't rinse my rice. I know that is sacrilege to some people, but I do not rinse my rice. And then you're going to shut the lid, make sure the vent is on sealing. And then this is going to be manual, high pressure. I turn off the keep warm function. You totally cannot see this. There we go. And then I'm going to put it on 3 minutes and let it go. So I will come back and show you what it looks like after it is cooked for these 3 minutes. And then I've done a natural pressure release. So this is actually going to take longer than 3 minutes because it has to come up to temperature first and come to pressure. Then it's going to cook for the 3 minutes and then it'll beep at me saying it's done. And then I'll leave it sit for a little bit. So I will be right back after that happens. All right, so my rice is done and the pressure has come all the way down. And if it hasn't though, what you want to do is just go ahead and turn the sealing knob to release and release the rest of the pressure. And then you can go ahead and open it up. And then grab a fork and you're just gonna kind of want to fluff the rice a little bit with your fork. And then I like to put the lid back on for just a little bit and let it steam for just a couple more minutes after you have, opened it up and fluffed it. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Oops, let's turn around. While that's doing that, I wanted to give you a little tip. I have this label maker here that I got on Amazon for like super cheap. I want to say it was like 15 bucks or something. It wasn't that expensive. It could have been more. I could be remembering wrong, but it wasn't that much and I use it all the time for all kinds of things. Anyways, a tip for how to easily recall how to cook things is to print out a label and put it on the back of your rice jar of the rice to water ratio, as well as the cooking times for, pressure cooker or your rice cooker or a pot or whatever. And that way, when you pull out your rice, you have it right there. So you can do it on, your brown rice, your white rice. Mine I have memorized. I don't have it on my white rice because I use it all the time. But yeah, you can use a label maker and put it on the back of your rice jars. That way, all the time without having to like look it up and go back or anything like that. So it's just always there. So let's go ahead and go back to the rice. And actually I need a hot pan because I don't have one. Okay. So let's go ahead and pull this out of there. Switch hands because I am right-handed, but there is your perfectly cooked rice. Yay. You can see it is nice and fluffy. And if you let it sit and steam for even a little bit longer, this is still a little bit wet. I usually let it sit in the pot and steam for just a little bit longer while I'm like setting the table and things like that. And it'll steam for just a little bit longer and get rid of more of that moisture. I don't know if you can see in the pot, but yep, there you go. And it does not stick to the bottom. You can see that. So yeah. There you go. Perfectly cooked rice in your Instant Pot every single time. And don't forget that you can cook two. You can cook a main dish and then rice is your side dish in your Instant Pot. I will leave links to everything in the description box down below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any future videos like this. And I will see you next time.
No, let's go. No hesitating.